Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day and had yourself a great weekend. We got Edge of Eternities spoilers and a first look, and we got the whole collecting article. So I thought today, even though everybody wants to talk about Final Fantasy and it hitting $1,200 in value, and that's where all the content is, I thought it would be important to go through Edge of Eternities and take a look at this next actual Magic the Gathering set, a set that actually looks further from high fantasy Magic the Gathering than Final Fantasy does, but it'll be a little bit interesting. So it was very cool. We had our patron, our gold wizard in our Discord server pre-order for this set, and a lot of people, I was actually very surprised at how many people were ordering this set and how much excitement there seems to be. I don't know if that's just like people who made a lot of money off of Final Fantasy are looking for something, you know, what's the next thing to kind of roll into, or what that is, but the pre-order seemed very good, and it was kind of perfect timing to see this article drop as well. So let's take a look at this set. This was one of the sets at the beginning of the year I was really excited about. I'm a big space fan. I like kind of science fiction and spacey things, so I'm pretty excited for this set, although I do respect the idea of wanting Magic the Gathering to just be Magic the Gathering. But if we're going to do cool things like this, we might as well do cool things like this. So first big thing, you got 4 set symbols. This is, not as bad as something like what was it, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, I think, had 5. You have a lot of different things going on these days. You've got your Maiden set, you've got your Commander set, and then this is the big one, is the Stellar set. It's like Stellar Sights. I think this will be the sales pitch for Edge of Eternity, is if the Stellar Sights are actually really, really good cards. We'll talk about that later. And then the special guests. So let's give you the theme. We're not a huge theme channel, but somewhere in the far-flung corners of the multiverse, we are hanging out in the Sothra system, but nothing is as it seems as we're going across the score of a lifetime. Powerful forces lurk behind the scenes as they vie for galactic domination. At the heart of it all is Sothra, the Super Void. So one of the big things I've seen so far is we don't have any of the major characters from Magic the Gathering that people get nostalgic for and that kind of thing. You've got Tezzeret and Sammy, which I don't know anything about Sammy. I don't know if that's an old character or if that's just like a new character for this set. But Tezzeret isn't going to sell you a lot of booster boxes. This card seems pretty cool. Artifact Planeswalkers are always fun. You can kind of sling them into any Commander deck that you want, and then on top of that, artifact synergies do really well for something like this. So you've got Tezzeret, cool Planeswalker, the ability, we're not going to talk about all the different cards, we're kind of giving you the overview. Cards of Edge, here's the big thing. You've got spacecrafts now, and this is going to be probably the most controversial of all of Edge of Eternities, is legendary artifact spacecrafts. Not only do a lot of people not want spacecrafts in their Magic the Gathering, but now they've actually added a new Commander rule change, which allows you to play Commander with a spacecraft as its as the leader, as the commander, which I just think, I don't know, man. I don't want to do that. We're updating the rules, Commander, so any legendary card with a printed power and toughness can be your commander. That means legendary vehicles and legendary spacecrafts can helm your deck. So this is where I start getting to I wish that the rules committee still existed and it wasn't Wizards. Wizards is trying to make it they want to, I just feel like Magic, I don't want to get too harped on this, but I feel like Commander is supposed to be, I don't know, it just feels weird to have a spacecraft fighting against, like, I don't know, your Lord Windgrace deck. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like a Zeusa versus the spacecraft. That seems really weird to me. I don't like that. But this is their way of trying to give extra value, I guess, to spacecrafts and to legendary artifacts. It's just one of those weird things. I'm not a fan of it. I honestly am not a fan of spacecrafts in general. The multiverse thing, I don't know how it all works technically, but are we only using spacecrafts to get throughout the multiverse? Do we need to take a spacecraft to get to Lorwyn now? And if that's the case, then why are there no spacecrafts in the 30-year history of Lorwyn. And so I don't know why they felt the need to introduce this other thing, the spacecraft, where it just doesn't feel like it fits into the lore of the last 30 years of Magic. But I'm just being a boomer and complaining. There's going to be somebody who's really excited for spacecrafts. So to that person, congrats on getting spacecrafts in Magic. I'm actually excited for you that you can just be in, you can enjoy it. But for me, it's just not it. So it'll be weird. So then you got the commander decks. These are the two. I'm really excited for the lands one. I have a Lord Windgrace Lands Matter deck, and it'll be fun to see what kind of upgrades come into that one. This one you can play lands from your graveyard. It's a 2/5 for 5 with flying. Whenever you sacrifice another non-token permanent during your turn, you get a number 1/1 counters equal to the power of this card on up to one other target creature. So pretty cool card. Pretty cool. Hopefully get a lot of land themes. Lands Matter deck is my favorite, my Lord Windgrace one. So I'm excited about that. And then this Kilo Apogee Mind is a robot, which is kind of cool. Like, I like stuff like this. This seems like, I know, this seems cool. Haste, whenever it becomes tapped, you proliferate, which I think could be really, really cool. There's probably different ways to break that in the game. So those are the two commanders. Honestly, this is one of those sets where you're getting, in a case of commanders, you're getting 2 of each, deck. Those tend to be a little bit more difficult. The supply seems to be a little bit higher on those than just because of the lack of the 4 decks. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these is kind of the breakout one. One of them will probably end up being like $50 to $60, and one of them will be like $25 to $30. Is probably what will happen with these decks. I would guess the Lands Matter one will be the more expensive one. It's just in a little bit more played colors, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, here's the big thing. Shocklands are here. We saw this with Infinity, but Infinity was obviously not like a full-on set. It was an unset. So Shocklands coming back to standard. This will help sell packs. Shocklands are a lot of the Shocklands are more expensive than Fetchlands currently are. So this is a pretty high caliber like set of cards within the system. That didn't make, this is I guess that worked. This is a pretty, high caliber set of cards. You're getting, I think, 5 of them. And a big thing for me that I'm excited about this. So you're getting Watery Grave, Sacred Foundry, Stomping Ground, Breeding Pool, and Godless Shrine. I'm kind of excited to see the other Shocklands in Lorwyn, I believe is what this means, which is going to be pretty cool to see those in Lorwyn. But Shocklands return to standard, so you've got that, which means, for a lot of you guys who just bought Shocklands, you're going to see a big dip in prices. Hopefully, I don't want them to put any of these in the commander decks. We haven't really seen that before. We'll see if that happens or not. These all have the regular set symbol, so I'm guessing that won't happen. But Shocklands should give a lot of value to those who are cracking open packs. It helps set a bottom line, because Shocklands, these might dip to like $8 to $10, but they shouldn't go much below that, I wouldn't think. So that's pretty good, Shocklands. And then we've got the Singularity foil. This thing is crazy. It doesn't look like a Magic card at all. I found a better picture for you. This is crazy. This is the kind of big chase card. What's it called? The headliner. So this is your headliner treatment. And Sathura is the Super Void. And all the power and everything comes from Sathura in this galaxy, basically. So what does this thing do? Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creature, sacrifice Sathura, then put a creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with 2/1/1 counters. Pretty cool card, pretty good ability. Everybody likes the whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. Everybody likes that ability. I love this second art right here. I actually like this way more than this kind of card. I don't know. This seems like I'm okay with this kind of stuff. I think it's fine. Actually, that black hole looks really cool. I actually saw one that was moving around. That black hole looks really cool. I'm not a big fan of this kind of stuff in my decks because I like to be able to read the cards and not have to pull up my phone. But yeah, pretty cool. And then here's the big thing. This is what I really want to hone in on. We don't know all the cards yet, but this will, in my opinion, the Stellar Sites lands be the defining factor on if this set is good. If you're curious on if the set's going to perform well, you should be paying attention to what Stellar Sites land into this set. What kind of cards they ended up putting into this, this little mini set. because this will be the big polls, and you can get these in play packs and collector packs, which is great. I'm sure there's like a better version in the collector packs, but the bonus, you know, you can draft and you can pull these. You can't get the poster ones, right? I think I was right about this. Yeah, you can get all these in the play boosters. Now the what is this one called? Showcase lands are only in the poster stellar sites are only in the collector boxes. So the poster ones are the only time they're the same cards but different treatment, only in the collector boxes. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what cards they put in this set, and that will really dictate how this thing does. I mean, you can have, there's so many lands here. We could go off for hours on what lands you might see in here. Anything that's, you know, there's a ton of different great lands that you could put in here. There's also a lot of bad lands they could put in here. So we'll see what they ended up doing on here. The only one we really know is Mutavault, which is pretty good, but not I don't know, in my opinion, not like the home run card that everyone's going to want. I don't know what a Mutavault currently goes for, but you're going to see a lot of them come out. So this card hasn't been printed for a while. So yeah, I mean, the other last thing is basic lands with the Galaxy foil. This comes back from Infinity. I hate the going back to cool things from unsets. I almost wish that they left unsets as like, you know, top tier different things. They could have different foil treatments on this stuff that leaves the unsets to have their own special things. But this is going to do well. People are going to like these. Not everybody can go back and open Infinity. It's been a couple years, and the cycle of Magic players and that kind of thing. People will be excited for these. Who are, you know, people were excited for the Infinity lands. They loved them. The basic lands did really well, and the Shocklands did really well. So I think these will also do very well and are very cool. All in all, I thought that I was going to be more excited for this set. I think the spaceship thing, I don't know what I was expecting. It is space, right? I guess I was expecting more like alien theme than space shuttle artifact land theme. Like there's no like, I want to fight aliens. That would be cool. There's not really like a lot of, like, I hope we see some sort of different character types and that kind of thing. Right now this just feels like an artifact set, like spaceship and artifacts, and that's not in my brain what science fiction and, you know, that kind of world is. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up pulling out, but it seems like the market and the people who are ordering product have gotten pretty excited about this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are you excited about for Edge of Eternities? Hope you have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.